Hi, Warrior. It's Travis here, and welcome back to our adventures with the Hardcore Warrior.
Hello.
Last episode, we slayed some bugs, guys, and today we are going to be picking up some quests for Maraudon. So we are ready to go whenever we have to get into that dungeon. Should I set my hearth here? I think I should. Probably do a little bit of questing still in Fairless. Where the quest is here? Looking for Bark Battlescar. I think this guy's on the top there, yeah. I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. We're staying alive in hardcore for now. Hopefully we avoid
A satyr known as
the DDoS
Vileton
boss.
has corrupted the caverns of Maraudon, stunting the growth of many of the plants inside. Take this vile adventurer, fill it at the orange crystal pool found inside the caverns. The coating inside the vial will counter the toxins, turning it into a healing agent. Find the Vila stem vines inside the orange caverns, and use the purified liquid on them. The corruption will be purged from the plant, but do know that Vileton will still control it. He may use it against you.
All right, here we go. It's another quest here. Corruption of Earth and Seed.
Outdoors.
Sounds just like the Dryad unit in Warcraft 3. Corruption of Earth and Seed. Deep in Maraudon lives an evil creature of chaos. Princess Theradris is an elemental force of Earth related to the old gods. Ages ago, she and Zaytar, first son of Cenarius, began a relationship. The offspring of their time together became known as the people of Kalimdor as Centaur. Ever thankful creatures, the Centaur killed Zaytar, and now hold Zaytar's remains. My quest here is to find those powerful enough to slay Theradris, so we may recover Zaytar's remains before returning to Stone Talon. Pretty nice loot from this quest too. You get Thrash Blade. Awesome one-hander, 35.2 damage per second. Chance on hit grants an extra attack on your next swings. So you can proc like 2 hits in a row, which is pretty damn good. It's like a built-in Wind Fury. Probably pretty awesome with Wind Fury. Like, I wonder if you could proc both at the same time, like 3 hits, both with one swing. So we'll head down here now, the prize instructions. Did I set my hearth? No, it's gadget stand. We go back. Because I'm eventually going to be running all the way up here, and then I want to hearth back and then go down this way. I want to do the Mark of Quality quest. Kind of running out of quests here in Kalimdor. Probably going to head back. Is this the same way? Or is it this way? I think it's this way. To Shadowprey Village. Makoto like freaked me out for a little bit. And damn, my leaves are getting beat up, man. Big game today. Time of this recording. It's going to be game 6. Got completely wrecked game 5 in Toronto as well.
As the wind on the plains, you are always welcome here.
It's like 6-1. I kind of stopped watching when it was 5-0 in the third period. But they did get a goal, I think. Yeah, they got a goal in the end. I think the Panthers felt bad for us. It's rough being a Leafs fan. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I believe we can win the next 2 games. We'll see. And Doom: The Dark Ages has come out. I haven't played it, but I have been checking it out a little bit. It looks not bad. Supposedly it's much different from Doom Eternal, which was a hit. A lot of people like that game. Supposedly it might be better for console. That's what I'm hearing. And I also have heard that the game Doom the Dark Ages is locking out Linux users. So if you have Linux as an operating system, you can't supposedly play the game, which is kind of weird. Wonder if that'll be a thing that Microsoft does to battle Steam, because Steam's supposedly coming in hard against Microsoft with their operating system that's supposedly Linux based, I think. Not too sure. I'm not that deep into tech, but in operating systems and stuff like that. But it is an interesting little battle that they're supposedly going to have. Because everybody uses Windows pretty much, unless you're, you know how to use Linux. I use Windows. I need no home to know I still have a place in this world, warrior. The tribes will see, all of them. They fight amongst one another, and for what? Scraps left over by vultures, lands infested by the Legion. Bah. The Centaur should be proud of their heritage. It is just as noble as any night elf or orcs. It is time we started acting like it. That's right, the sons of Theradris have spoken. Though exiled as a heretic, my beliefs still ring true. That alone drives me onward. But for my destiny to be complete, I need the aid of an outsider, one not of any centaur tribe. The task requires someone to enter the holy halls of Maradon, a tomb my people protect, and only the most devout are ever allowed to enter. If you agree to aid me, then you need only nod. I will pass you a parchment with my instructions on it. Read it over and consider my words. And this is the trinket that we get. Mark of the Chosen. Pretty good. Has a 2% chance when struck in combat of increasing all stats by 25 for 1 minute. So that's one of the reasons why I want to go into Maradon, is mostly for that trinket. This quest is a pain, though. If you check the prize instructions, I'm trying to stay safe here. I'll stay on the road, but it's quite the grind. It's probably one of the longest quests that you have to do in Maradon. There's a mithril deposit down there that I want to go get. Problem is, it's going to probably be where all these skeletons are. I want to just jump down and get wrecked. Can we just jump down? Maybe here? It wasn't too bad. Didn't hear myself take fall damage there. But yeah, set far back in the Valley of Spears is the Holy Temple of Maradon. If that were not transgression enough, you will quickly see why I have asked a non-centaur to aid me in my plight. There, just beyond the doors where only spirits and our most sacred priests and priestesses may travel, is one called the Nameless Prophet. Looks like we're kind of cool with the Gelkas, so they don't attack us. There, just beyond the doors where only spirits and our most sacred priests and priestesses may travel, is one called the Nameless Prophet. He is the highest of any tribe in spiritual matters and is one of the oldest of any tribe. Just want to make sure we're safe here. The prophet is powerful and communicates with the spirits of our ancestors, but he is a fool. He has no idea the true power he possesses. On his person is the amulet of spirits. It is where most of the strength comes from. I have learned that the amulet is powerful, but it is incomplete. There are 5 gems missing from the amulet, And if those gems were found and placed back into the symbol, its power would far exceed that of its current form. I want to make sure we're going the right way here. So take this road. Should be safe going this way. Could run into some Burning Legion. There, just beyond the doors, where only spirits and most sacred priests and priestesses... Oh yeah, we read that. I have found the 5 gems, but need one of your... Oh my gosh. It's Rexar. It's badass. I always scared the crap out of me.
Greetings, adventurer. I am Rexar, champion of the Horde, servant of Thrall, master to the beasts of the wilds.
Such a badass. If you run into him in your alliance, I think he just completely wrecks you. We'll take a break from that little story, guys. We're running through the Mana Rock Coven. It's actually pretty dangerous here. Actually, it's not that bad. They're level 36. But I'm always, like, scared when I run through here. We're okay. But yeah, so we need 5 gems, but need one of your skills to help gather them. Slaying the Nameless Prophet is heresy for sure, as is stealing from his corpse, but what I would ask of you next would condemn any centaur for even thinking it. Throughout the caverns of Maradon roam the spirits of our first Khans, our mother and father's first children, and our greatest leaders. They are Gelk, Kolk, Magra, Marados, and Vang. Each of these spirits holds one of the missing gems. Use the power of the Amulet of Spirits to force them to manifest and take the gems from them. After, place the gems within the Amulet of Spirits and return it to me. Once I have the Amulet of Union, I will be powerful enough to reform the tribes so we can finally be as our ancestors wanted us to be. So to get this quest done, it's actually, most of it's outside of the dungeon. I'm pretty sure, I wouldn't be surprised if all of it is, because I did do it on the mage. And most of the cons are outside of the dungeon. I'm not too sure if all of them are, though. And these 2 quests here, I believe, are inside the dungeon. The Legends of Maradon and Seat of Life. Those are both inside the dungeon, so we can get those later. Yeah, it's going to be quite the grind and journey to like do all the quests and all that stuff for Maradon. And there's a lot of elites down there, like rock elemental elites. Kind of scary. Wouldn't want to go in there solo. So, probably going with the group. Hopefully they want to do these quests. I think any physical DPS would probably want to do, you know, this one, the prize instructions to get Mark of the Chosen. Like, such a pretty damn good trinket.
The crystal caverns of Taramok lie to the west, deep within Maradon. It is an ancient place with much history, and I'm looking to get my hands on some of it, adventurer. Relics of the old gods lie hidden behind the giant doors. If you are willing to brave the twisted evils found in Maradon, I believe I can make it worth your time. Collect the Thoradric crystal carvings you find and return them to me. Once I get the carvings, I will be able to study them. These powers have been too long at rest.
All right, so let's head down here, guys, and we'll deal with some Yetis. Gonna try to get some thick Yeti hides today. A little scary over here, a lot of giants. Try to avoid that. Supposedly there's a mithril deposit up here. Nice, we're getting lucky with the mithril today. We need the mining levels. We're at 187 right now. For farming mithril now, we should be able to get our engineering up soon. Wonder how Maradon like is doing. Like if anybody's, I don't know if I want to tank it. I wouldn't mind tanking it. Yeah, see this 50 warriors the same way. Princess runs. It's not a bad idea either, because all the best loot's from Princess. Problem is the quests are mostly for that. Some of them we can... There's one that's before we just had to slay Princess. Yeah, we got a pretty good group here. This would be not bad. I would like all these 50s. That'd be a good group for Maraudon. Yeah, we'll stick around, see what happens. We clearly need a healer. Right, here we are back in Feralus, guys. Also, free game for Epic Games. You guys have Epic Games. It's free. I'm trying to promote Epic Games, but getting free games is cool. I like it. Dead Island 2. Free zombie apocalypse game. It's a pretty good free game for a week. I think it's like $70 on Epic Games. It's probably not worth it, but it's free this week. Sort of like Dying Light. I looked at it. I'm more of a fan of Dying Light because of the parkour element to it. But this one looks pretty cool. It's like a zombie apocalypse in LA. And I remember hearing about this game when I was deciding like which zombie apocalypse game I should play, and I picked Dying Light, but Dead Island was another option. Supposedly it's pretty good. Yeah, maybe we'll check that out eventually. You know, the thing is, I never play any of the games I get. Or any of the free games. I haven't played many. I think the only one I played was like this fishing simulator game. I always forget the name of it. No, it's called The Angler Call of the Wild. I got that for free, and me and a couple buddies just got addicted to it for like a couple days. Because you start like fishing, it feels like you're actually fishing. It's really cool. And then simulator game, I can see why simulator games are so popular. And then as you fish and put more time into the game, you unlock better rods, and then there's like legendary fish you can catch that are like really hard to find. And there's like certain lures you have to use and certain rods and all that stuff. And you have to go to certain spots to try to catch them. And the fights with the fish, they can take over an hour to catch a certain fish. It takes quite a while. And I heard some bad news about the Nintendo Switch 2. Supposedly they have like the right to brick, pretty much disable your console if they believe that you've downloaded, I guess you could say, just software that they don't approve of on your Switch. And I think they're mostly referring to like emulator software, right? So this is kind of an interesting little thing that they've added with the Switch 2. I think that's going to I think people will still buy it, but that does suck that they're doing that. Well, that's Nintendo, though. You know, if you called your... If you had like a lemonade stand outside and you called it Yoshi's Lemonade, you'd probably get sued by Nintendo. Because they're always bringing people, like the PAL World thing. They're really going hard at them. But it makes sense why, right? It is sort of like Pokemon. It's kind of like it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. And supposedly, like I've heard that emulation is actually illegal. And it kind of makes sense why it is legal. Because say you buy a game, right? Like Star Fox, I'll say, for the N64, and your game gets broken, or your N64 gets broken. We'll just say your game gets broken. Should you still have the right to play the game? Yeah, you should. So that's what makes emulation legit, right? Like, could you imagine the only time you could ever play Star Fox again is if you have the game and an N64 console? Eventually, you know, and Star Foxes and N64 consoles are just going to keep on breaking. You know, if people play them, right? Unless people... There's going to be less and less over time. That's pretty much what I'm saying. And, so that's why emulation's legal, because people should still have the right to play the game that they purchased. But Nintendo hates emulation. Which makes sense why, right? Because people can pretty much play the games for free. So... yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if they reverse that. I doubt. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Depends what fans think, right? Like if people don't. If people don't want to. 52 Tauren Druid for. Tauren Druid for Maradon. This guy needs a full quest run. That would be kind of cool. Not sure if I want a tank. I don't know. Maybe I should. I'm not too ready for it. Get down to do Mara. It's the Druid healer. Like, I could tank it, but I'm just... It's quite the grind. 52 healer, though. It'd be pretty good. Gotta watch out going in this cave. I prefer, like, a priest... healer, but you can't be that big. Druid's pretty good. Just the shields that priests give. Pretty awesome. You do get Mark of the Wild, though, from Druids. And pots are nice. Like, they're not bad healers. It's just... You know, I like priests a little bit more. We are doing this quest. But yeah, I should try to get in there. I'm a little scared, I'll be honest. Do I lose my character? Mardon's kind of a scary dungeon. It's scary to tank Theratris. Because she hits hard. That last boss. And then there's like all these like mobs that if you like don't pay attention and you stand in this like green smoke you can barely see for like a couple seconds, you can just lose your character. There's also mobs in there on the orange side that melee can't even attempt to even kill. It's like these oozes that if melee get close to, they take an insane amount of damage. You need a mage to deal with them. And it's scary for the mage to deal with in hardcore because, you know, let's say the mage just can't get enough output damage-wise. Then he just gets wrecked. You know, so because he has all the aggro. So it's a freaky dungeon. It's a nice dungeon to be over-leveled for, that's for sure. I'm just gonna be patient with it. I want to do it before we hit 60. It's a good dungeon to do. There's a mage, couple mages there. Entering into a cave here. Need 8 more hides. And to be honest, like if I was smart, we just probably wouldn't even do dungeons all the way to 60 from here. Just, you know, farm mobs, slowly get there. There's 2 here. I'll wait for that one to... Could probably kill 2, but... We'll just play it safe. Yeah, Maradon, you can die. It's a pretty scary dungeon. But I have, I know about the dungeon. You know, I have knowledge about it. I've done it a bunch of times. I guess that's why I'm worried about it. And the thing is, the loot's not that it's good. But really, the only loot we really want is the trinket, and you can do that. I think mostly you don't even need to go in the dungeon. Like we could just go into the orange side for a second. I think there's a few inside the dungeon. There's like 2 on each side. 1 purple side, 1 orange side. 2 cons. And then the rest are outside. So you don't even have to really do the entire dungeon to get that done. And then the rest... and then the rest of the loot we want is from Princess Theratris, which is the last boss. And there's a rod that some people get, right? And it teleports you pretty much to the last boss. And that's what they call princess runs. You're like 5 to 10 minutes away from the last boss. You could fight, you know, Tinker, these 4 bosses here. Landslide, Tinker, Gizlock, and then Theratris. You could skip Rock Grip if you don't want to fight him, but usually people kill Rock Grip too. You gotta watch out in here though. We're in a cave now. Good thing about Yetis though is they don't run away after you. If you get them low. Should probably get a food buff going here. Not doing too well on the food buffs either. We have 5 more clamlet surprises. A couple of ores in here that we can get. That's one good thing about caves is usually there's ores inside. It's usually how you get baited into traveling inside these caves. They tease you with an ore. But we're pretty safe here, I think. For the most part. As long as we take it slow. The worst thing that could probably happen is we run into a patrol. Or we get invited to a group. And it layers us on top of a bunch of Yetis. Or we DC and get layered. And then when we log in, we get wrecked. We're okay here. So, a hulking Pharaoh Scar. We have some food. Get some ham steaks. We're almost halfway on the hides. Hides take sort of a while to get, but they are. It is worth doing this. It's decent XP. It's not too bad. Quest isn't that scary. There is a rare in here, though. There's like a rare Yeti that spawns around here. Like they're not here, though. Or if that druid... I guess that druid got a group going. Damn it, I feel like I missed out. Should have asked the DPS. Looked like they had a group there, like when I went back in, but I guess maybe they're there. So Zakara's DPS, they got a mage and level 51 rogue. I guess this druid can heal. I guess the druid's DPSing though. They got this rot carrot healer, would be alright. Pretty good. You know, you get Mark of the Wild and, you know, fortitude buff. And then the int buff from the mage is a pretty good combo. He actually wants to DPS. He said he wanted to heal, but I guess you can DPS too. Like I doubt that you know, Zakara's like 100% boomkin. They'll probably boomkin out in the wild and resto in the dungeons. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. Just want to make sure I'm ready to do the whole thing. Like, I would just do like some quests. You know, some like early quests. And then get out. It's the same thing with Sunken Temple. Like, the last boss in Sunken Temple really sucks. Yeah, Shade of Aranicus. So the boss has like a threat. You can't taunt the boss, which really sucks. And there's like a threat drop. I think like the second... Usually you want to bring a hunter with you, and the hunter pet is supposed to like get top threat. And then eventually Aranicus does this ability where she puts like somebody to sleep. And it's usually the top person's top threat, I believe. And when that person gets put to sleep, their threat drops, right? Because they're asleep. They get CC'd by the boss. So second on threat gets the threat, right? So the way people screw that up is the tank's top threat gets put to sleep, and then the boss starts chasing, you know, the healer around or a DPS. And it just becomes chaotic. And people lose their characters. That's the way out. Should we start going out? I guess we'll... Oh, we got a patrol here. Oh, just leaving us alone. Keep a marker on him. What are we doing with bullets? Got 80 bullets. It's enough for a dungeon, kind of. And if I went into Mardon, it's smart to go in with buffs, world buffs. Like, we could get ZG buff, Oni buff, and also Rent. And then go in. Or, like, at least Oni Rent. Mardon's just, it's sort of like one of those dungeons you want to do with people in comms, or like with a guild. Because it's a big, long dungeon, right? And you can easily just make a mistake and die. They got Rock Carrot. So Rock Carrot's healing? Or doing damage? I'm not too sure. So they're just looking for a tank now. I guess Sakara's gonna do damage. So they got all the buffs you want. End to mage, which is good. Pretty high level rogue too. Rogue doesn't really bring anything to the group other than like CC, which I guess helps, right? But there's no... Rogues don't bring buffs. All you need in this group is a shaman. It's pretty badass. Got a patrol here. Hope they find a tank. I don't know. I feel bad. I feel like I'm letting them down. It's like all these rogues. Everyone's leveling rogues, man. All these level 50 plus rogues. It's a pretty chill class to level to 60 in hardcore. Having Vanish is awesome. Once you get past that like level where you get Vanish, it's like 25, 28 or something like that. I forget. But once you get Vanish, it becomes pretty chill. You don't even really need engineering. I went herbalism, alchemy, and just got all the potions and elixirs, and it worked out fine for me. I just don't know if I could tank it with two-hander. Right, that's another problem. Like, I'm not too sure if I should, go sword and board for a bit of it. And if I need to go sword and board, then I should probably, train like the Vanquisher sword or the Ripsaw. Probably Vanquisher. I mean, I don't know. The wound kind of sucks. That's the proc. Does 33.3 damage per second. The thing is, it hits way harder than Vanquisher sword. But the thing is, I have to level up the skill. That takes a bit of time. Kind of want to be prepared for. I'm just not prepared to tank it. But you could probably just two-hand your way through it, like with the Whirlwind Axe. So we got all the Yeti hides, making our way out of here. See what our weapon skills are at. So axes I haven't even leveled. We're at 1. I think that would probably be my best weapon. We could do the sword. The sword we're at 189, so it wouldn't be too bad. But we have the quest for it now, so it's good. Use our last Mage Weave bandage. I'm gonna make a few more. That was a 300 first aid. Crit on the execute. I wonder if the druid would tank. Well, probably not, right? Probably boomkin fair. Probably a boomkin. Maybe. If I leveled up hardcore druid, I would probably go feral. Right? And you just tank his bear. Just seems like feral's like maybe it's safer, maybe not. I don't know. Boomkin's probably pretty good. You can still like go cat form and stealth, and then just find a nice spot far away from a mob, and then just start star firing the mob down when you have full mana. That'd be kind of interesting, like leveling up Boomkin hardcore. A couple 60s just went down. They died to a car in ZG. Well, this Orc Warrior did. Died to the last boss in Zul'Gurub. And the only M's Roll Mage died to Bloodlord Mandakir in Zul'Gurub. A lot of ZG deaths lately. Great loot in there. Really good catch-up raid. Well, that's pretty much what it is. Alright, so we're heading back to camp at Mahache. And we will turn in this quest. Got a bit of XP today. Finished off a quest at least. And then we also picked up all the Maradon quests that we can get right now. I think there's a few more actually we can get in cities. Yeah, necklace recovery, is that Maradon? No, that's Uldaman. It's another dungeon we didn't do. Kind of the same reason as Maradon. It's just like a dungeon that you can just die to some stupid. And the reward is just not worth.
Welcome to Camp Mojaji, brave adventurer. How may I assist you this day?
Nice gloves, 10 strength, 9 agi gloves.
When given a special treatment,
Not a lot of
as
armor on
resilient as
them,
iron, I tell you. It will take many tries in order to get the right mix down for the tanner.
Probably
but
wouldn't use
I
it.
am confident they will bring my mark of quality
Take
to
the
the
item.
next level. As for you,
Take the item with
your assistance has proven invaluable. Please take your choice from these items I have crafted.
sells for more.
I have a lead on an even better source of hides, if that's even possible to believe. In the northern parts of Feralis, deep within Rage Scarhold, are another throng of Yetis. They're much tougher than the ones you dealt with before, so if you're up for a bigger challenge, you'd best be on your toes. I would reward you handsomely for a stack of 10 of their hides. Bring them to me here, and we'll finish our business.
Alright, there we go. Made a little bit of coin, guys. Got some XP.
May the eternal
Next episode, maybe we'll do improved quality. And I'm not too sure if we have all the quests for Maradon. We probably don't. There's probably a few in the city that we could get, I think. We'll have to look into it. Yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of today's episode. As always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.